All right, as always, starting with who we are, we have quite a handful of us this time around. This is me, Mostrino. This is my voice.
Hey, I'm Kovac.
I'm Solaroi.
I'm Carter.
I'm
I'm
Ditto.
I'm Cats. But yeah, Jace, hello. Hi, this is me.
All right, very cool. So, I guess starting out with how we usually start out with the releases from the past week. The first one being "Time" by Stonebank. I know a lot of people were kind of big on that one, but I'm not too much a fan of it.
Literally did not bother to listen to it. I expect it to be like run of the mill Stonebank hardcore.
It's a little congy, I won't lie.
I mean,
Like it's
Congy.
even more than SOS.
it's just
Huh.
SOS, but with more Kong.
Hmm.
That's about it.
It definitely feels like a fusion between SOS and like the government, I'd say. Especially because of the first drop.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I like the vocals though; those are nice.
Yeah. And how they're used like in the last drops. That's really nice too.
Yeah, but it's a big Kong, and hardstyle, like we mentioned, didn't have doesn't tend to have a very good rep as a genre.
It did feel kind of different from like the rest of his releases, or just hardcore in general. Like
Yeah.
it definitely stands out. It's not necessarily better, but it definitely felt different.
Yeah, it's not like stronger and like all night and like that kind of his style.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm guessing that the overall consensus is that it's an all right track, not too good but not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, right down the middle to me for me.
What about Tuesday's release, Heroes? Because I know we were talking about how good the EP was, but personally, I didn't think I mean, the song is nice, but I didn't think it was anywhere close to the EP.
it sounded like a weaker version of For Me.
Yeah, like kind of
Reminded me of Cities.
literally
Yeah.
just everything that the EP was, like all of the most mediocre aspects of it just combined into one track.
Yeah, it sounds like it was just kind of like left off.
But yeah, it's way weaker than the EP, and like I don't know, I don't like how much white noise it has. Like the
Yeah.
drop feels like filled with noise, and it's kind of annoying.
Good. It's nothing. It's not. It's not bad. But
We should talk about "Start Again," which is, in my opinion, the best track this week.
yeah,
Yeah, Start Again is way better than Nemesis. It reminded me a little bit of Lost Forever, but not as good in my opinion. But I still think that it's definitely his best work in a while. So, and like I
Yeah.
said, much better than Nemesis.
I like Nemesis more, but
Yeah, same here. Like Nemesis packs more of a punch, and I don't think Start Again really has that quality to it. But like Start Again, I don't know. I like the vocals a lot, even though they're very like pendulum like.
Yeah,
yeah,
like
it's
in
not a bad
Lost
song,
Forever.
but
Yeah.
it
Like,
like
even-
it's definitely different from what he's done.
Right.
Like even like the synth line right at like the fake out at the start of the drop sounds like extremely pendulum-esque. I don't know,
And
it's another all right.
Yeah, I tend
Yeah.
to like the halftime drum grooves a lot more than the full-on drum and bass ones for like the heavier styles. Which is the same. It's my similar opinion for Barricade, even though that tends to be the unpopular opinion. But yeah, I guess having it being at halftime, I find it to be a bit more of a banger.
yeah, I think my problem with Nemesis in general is that the screechy sounds in the beginning of the drop are not good, in my opinion, and that's what kind of drives me away from the track. The rest is fine, but those sounds in particular are like
Yeah,
I'd be
not to
better off
mention
without them.
like the vocals, the amazing vocals in Nemesis.
Dude, the samples are so cringe. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, I really like the kind of like industrial kind of sounds that Muzz always puts with like the transitions like he did in F minor Factory and like in the Factory. Yeah, just like the overall like atmosphere with like the kind of like dark like Factory type that he's really good at.
Did he
I don't know
say
if
how
this
many
was
tracks
just
will
me.
be on it?
11.
Okay.
11. Oh, I don't know if this was just me, but Start Again kind of starts very suddenly. Like the impact is immediate if you listen to the track. Like first second, it feels a bit off, and I think that might be because another track before it might lead up to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
probably.
very abrupt.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's definitely a very abrupt beginning. That's why I thought the album would probably be kind of filled with transitions.
Yeah.
It's definitely a very big project. That's
Yeah.
And
for
it's
sure.
cool to see when like albums like this one and the Silent one actually do the transitions, because there's a lot of albums and especially EPs where it's just like these are a bunch of songs but they don't flow in any way and there's like no kind of
Yeah.
like like reason for them. So it's nice
There's
to
like
see that here.
there's like 6 or 7 EPs and LPs on Monstercat that do that. I know Better with Time does it. I think that was the first one. Maybe
Friends did it,
excluding-
I think.
Friends, yeah, Friends also did it. Better with Time, Friends, Xylence
I
LP, Dogma
Twofold
Resistance.
does it sometimes, not the whole.
It does
EP,
it at the end of Do You Don't. You were the one that's right before it, but I don't think it does it for any of the other songs.
Yeah,
which
and
is
I
weird.
think it does it a bit with on part one between the schism and dichotomy.
Okay. And then Where You Are is continuous.
Yeah. And then Sequence EP, which everyone forgets about, but technically that one is also continuous.
Yeah. Boss Fights EP is.
Oh yeah.
That one's a lot less noticeable. Like, I think the 2 singles, You Got Me and Bad Match, they transition from one into the other, and I don't think anyone noticed that before.
It was really cool to see though in that EP how like the outro was like
It
the
perfectly
intro, but like
transitions.
yeah, but like the outro track was like the intro but like a different style, but it had like the same melody. I thought it was kind of a neat way to wrap it up.
Yeah. I think Justin O's LP is going to be continuous because I think Assemble transitions into Don't Bring Me Down.
Mhm.
And then there's probably a few more that I can't think of.
Yeah, I remember someone mentioned like right when Dreamer came out, like they were like, yeah, this is definitely going to be like on an EP or something because of like how the outro was or something. You could hear
It was the
transitioning.
intro, I think, because it
Oh.
just had the ka, or I don't know how to mimic it, but
Like
yeah.
the static noise.
Yeah. I honestly think that they should have had like an extended mix version of it because
Yeah, Away really doesn't need to exist.
yeah, it doesn't need to be on its own, and it's pretty much just the bridge of the track, but slow and then it's picking up, and like even in the music video, it's included in it. And then I guess you could kind of make that argument for Awake and Run in Shock One's album.
Yeah.
Because they kind of transition, kind
And
of
I think
don't.
Awake
and
is in the music.
video.
Yeah, I think Awake's in the video.
Mhm.
Which a lot of people thought that was just an extended version because that was before the LP. I think the LP was announced, but I don't think the tracks were known at that time.
Yeah.
But I really like that when they do that, and I think I kind of hope that they do a continuous mix upload like they did for Where You Are and Dogma Resistance.
Throwback to when they did that for Mirasekai or however you pronounce it. That's a
Oh,
good.
yeah, that's
that's
another
another one that's
Yeah,
good E EP.
that one's almost better as like one continuous piece as opposed to various segments.
True.
Yeah, on its own, I don't really like that album, but together it works.
Yeah, because that one actually has like some storytelling about like the futuristic kind of city, and I think it works really well when it's one continuous thing.
Hold on, we haven't talked about Toxic yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just zooming through these, because I'm kind of in the minority here, but I really didn't care for Skeleton, which I know was a very popular one, but the drop sounded really off to me. But I do kind of like this one. I mean I haven't heard it too much, but I do kind of enjoy it.
It's very catchy.
Yeah.
It is, but the drop is very off-putting. It kind of throws me off a bit. It feels, I don't know, it feels weird. The last drop is definitely the better one, but I don't know. It might grow on me. I'm on the fence on Toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's grown
I-
on me a lot more.
Yeah, I think when it first was previewed on COTW 300, I wasn't too into it, but then I listened to it on last Thursday, it was like, I love this song, but I have a feeling it's one of those songs that I like right away, and it's just gonna slowly grow off, but I'll still like it, but not as much as I do now.
Could be. Yeah, because I think this week had at least with the first 2 tracks were kind of weakish, but then the last 2 were much better.
I mean, this week's infinitely better than last week, but
Oh yeah, because wasn't last week just You Think and Broken Glass?
yeah.
What we are thinking.
Which Broken Glass like wasn't terrible, but it's nothing like it's not. It's
It's
below
Sabai
this
music.
entire week. It's below this
Yeah, it's
entire
by
week.
music.
I just want
Sabai
Crash
stuff.
and Burn.
Yeah, I'm hyped for that one.
Yeah, facts.
I said this in the chat, but I think what they're and I kind of hope they're gonna do is have one COTW preview each week, because I think they've been doing that so far. I don't think they've had 2 of the previews in the same week.
Other than like Nemesis and
Yeah, that one I don't really count because it was the day
Yeah.
after. But they didn't. I don't think they previewed Broken Glass or You Think. So
They previewed both.
I don't know. I'm just glad they're spread out and not all back to back, because then it's like 2 weeks of exactly what we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember we were talking about last week how there was like no previews because we didn't know how the throttle was gonna sound like, and I think Katz mentioned we didn't even know the name of the Muzz track. So
Yeah.
this week was
That Cloud9 EP came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Like every single EP from him comes out of nowhere.
It's like, oh, let me just release an EP this week.
How many is this his 6th one or his 7th
It's
one?
his-
How many
his
does he
sixth.
have?
It's
his-
his 6th.
Are you
if
counting
you
the
count-
2-track one?
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't sleep, clearly.
All of them are so good though.
Yeah.
He releases like every single track, like every single day, every single month, but every track is so good.
Yeah. I have a feeling this EP is probably going to be 3 or 4 tracks. I don't think it's going to be like 5 or 6.
Yeah,
I
because
mean-
he hasn't done a 5 or 6 one since Midnight Underground, right?
That one was
No.
5. It had an interlude, and I don't know if it had. I don't know if it
Wish
had.
was
an intro,
5.
but
I think
Yeah.
Cloud9 has done a lot of like when he does standalone EPs, they're 5 tracks. Like
Yeah.
Midnight Underground is 5 tracks, Welcome to London is 5 tracks, Wish is 5 tracks.
And then the collab ones, because, collabs are just slower. So those ones end up being shorter.
Yeah.
Although I think the only collabs are with Direct, right? Or am I forgetting something?
Yeah, I believe so. I think that's the only artist he's worked with other than LEV.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't count vocalists, then yeah.
Yeah, we gotta see him. We gotta see a Reaper and Cloud9 collab, and then see the 2 people that drop EPs every other month just have like a 20-track album, and it's like, yeah, we've been making a lot of music.
Something that's pretty particular in the as of recent, and something that happened a lot in September, October, November, is EPs where the title track comes out before.
Mm-hmm.
All but like there was like 8 or 9 EPs in September to November, and only 2 of them I think didn't have the title track released before. Which I don't
Yeah.
really. I like that, but at the same time I don't like. It's just
Okay.
kind of weird to release the title track as a single and then the EP,
Yeah.
which has the exact same name.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And usually, what had usually been the case in the past was that, like the title track tended to be one of like the worst tracks on the EP or album, but recently I find them being like some of the best tracks, which is kind of interesting.
I mean, personally, Wish is like my least favorite out of the Wish EP,
Bro.
but it's still amazing. No,
Yeah.
it's still a 9.
I don't know.
Don't worry. But I
Yeah,
I
it's
adore that EP. My favorite is Stay.
Stay
That's
is
yeah, I
love
really
that
good.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. The more I listen to that EP, the more my number 1 changes. Because at first it was Let the Music In, but then it was Lido. I don't know how to pronounce that, and then it was Stay.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
The only song I'm not in love with on that EP is Urban Foxes. It's all right, but it's too catchy.
It's too catchy, bro.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it, but it's too like upbeat.
It's really
Mhm.
formulaic.
It
Like
gets
it's just
back
like
in
a
your bed and gets stuck in your head.
yes.
Yeah.
It's like really standard run of the mill like clubhouse. So like
Yeah.
it just doesn't really have an identity for itself, you know.
I really do like when the like the plucky like organ, I don't know how to call it, but like when like the chords come in halfway through the first drop, that part's kind of neat.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Cloud9 chords are top tier.
True.
Facts.
Yeah, but especially like for albums, I don't know. I know Any Mevu Shell is a really popular one, but for me, my favorite, more than just a name, is more of just the same, which is not technically the title track, but it basically is. And then
Yeah.
Butterfly Effect is, I'm pretty sure my favorite or my second favorite of that album as well.
That's my favorite. Butterfly Effect is so good.
I
Yeah.
honestly thought the title track was pretty bad, to be honest. It's like it's really, really dry, production wise, and Katie's vocals are like not that good on it, honestly.
What?
What'd you think of the
Like-
VIP? I don't know if we talked about this. in
Yeah,
the
we
room.
haven't not talked about it. We can. Have you guys all heard the VIP?
No, because it's an Amazon exclusive. Actually, no,
It's on YouTube.
Never mind.
Yeah. Um,
It's all right. I'd prefer the original.
I do too. It's
It
not a
just doesn't
bad
fit
VIP.
that much.
but
It
it's-
doesn't
yeah.
fit that much.
It's not a bad VIP, but it's all right. Like I enjoy it. It's just I wouldn't listen to it over the original.
Yeah, it feels more like a live edit or something that they would play at a show instead.
right.
Which I think they commonly do. I think they commonly make D&D edits. So yeah,
Yeah, because DNB tends to get the people going crazier at a live show or whatever.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Like a VIP for every single Tokyo Machine track.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when they played Get Up at like 2017, and then it's only like a month ago, or maybe not even a month ago, when it finally came out.
Yeah.
And it's not even the same track that we all waited
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
Throwback
It's
to
on
Heaven
NCS?
Lettuce. You guys remember that one when we were waiting for
Heaven's
that one for
Lettuce.
like a year when it was going to be that banger Neurofunk track, and then they completely changed it.
I never listened to the preview, and I don't like. I mean, it's kind of just there for me. It's not a bad song. It's just nothing that interests me. But I haven't listened to the preview, and I have a feeling I would have liked that better. So
You should listen to the preview. You should consider
Dude.
doing that.
That's like the hardest blue balls that Monstercat ever gave us. Like that
True.
track. Yeah. Like the Neurofunk version is so good.
Uh-huh.
Try to find who made the Heaven's Lettuce edit of it.
that was me. Or,
Oh,
I didn't make an edit, but I made a video, a YouTube video where it's just Heaven Lettuce. Just like two pictures
We have
of
a
it.
legend in our midst.
I think there was someone that made an edit where it said Heaven Lettuce, but other than what it sounds like, I don't know if that's what you're talking about. But
yeah, I think there was like a song, I think, or somebody made like a bootleg of it and called it the Heaven's Lettuce edit.
okay,
Nice. But yeah, I agree with Carter. That one was like, I mean, the final track was all right, but if you compare it to the preview, it's really just a major blue ball moment.
Yeah.
I just want Swamp Thing VIP.
Of
Head Up
facts.
High, like the one with the vocals.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want it so bad.
That thing's like 5 years old now, isn't it? I
Yeah.
don't think it's coming out.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
to
like
be
4
fair,
years.
they've named like 3 of their tracks never coming out ever, and they've released all 3 of them, which were Emoji, Disconnected VIP, and Crying Shame. I think those were the 3 that they said, we're never going to release this. And look where we are now. They released all 3 of them. And I also think Gunslinger preview was a few years old when it was Sound of the Police, and then they couldn't do that because copyright, and then they ended up releasing it with our favorite vocalist, MC Moto. Bruh.
Well, you got anything, got trigger.
Yeah, they have a habit of saying, we're not going to release a song, and then release it.
Discussed the new Alice preview on podcast before, like the Speak Francais preview.
Not yet.
I haven't heard it.
I have not heard it either.
It's
Did
on
you guys
his
hear his
website.
remix from today?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
good.
It's nothing
Yes.
amazing, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, The Speak Francais preview, I'm gonna insist. It's so good. It's so good. That EP is gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I I would be really surprised if Ellis finds a way to mess up on the EP, because I've heard all of his tracks and he doesn't have a single bad one. So if he somehow manages to make like a yo yo rhythm track for the EP, I'm gonna be very surprised.
No, I think all of them are funk center.
Yeah, I think they're all gonna be good. He hasn't figured out how to mess up yet.
And it's really good. It's kind of cheesy, but it's super good.
Yeah. It has the potential to be better than Don't Say You're Sorry, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The one thing I don't like about the EP is the artworks. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. They seem too like throwbacky, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's got like a retro 80s vibe to it, which I honestly am a huge fan of. Like, I love that style, but I can understand why people don't like it as much.
Yeah, it's a little too excessive in it, especially like with the mix of like just looking at the "Don't Say You're Sorry" has "Don't Say You're Sorry" in the center, and then it has the top left.
Yeah.
And it's not that, so it just doesn't match that well.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it reminds me of the good old days back when we had Televisor on the label. I wonder what they've been up to recently, because they've been gone for a minute, but you know, that was their whole, you know, kind of like retro kind of style.
Well, one of them's Pilot.
Yeah, and wasn't the other one Run Funk?
Yeah.
No, Run Funk and Pilot are the same person.
Bruh. Okay, so
Oh.
then who's the other guy? Did he just say
might
I'm
be
done with music or what?
Yes.
No,
So no-
TVDS
no,
is
that's
Atmospheres. He's
Yeah.
the hardstyle guy. If Atmospheres was half of Televisor, that would be kind of wacky.
Televisor is definitely one of the other artists on the label. I can't remember who though.
I think it's like a one-man project now, and he still releases. Like, I think
So
he had
like the guy
something-
who's not Pilot is doing it?
Yeah, so like the unnotable guy, he's like running the whole thing now. Yeah.
That's one way to call him.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to listen to some of their recent stuff if they put anything out recently, because a lot of their stuff on Monstercat isn't too notable, but they have some nice tracks.
A lot of like their older ones were just kind of repetitive, or like they
Yeah.
sounded exactly the same.
Yeah,
Whereas once they got into Venture EP, they actually sounded different. I think they have a feature bass track. They have 2 house / disco / pop tracks. Actually, the rest of them are, I think so.
Once they got vocalists, instead of just doing like the same vocal chops that you can hardly remember, aside from Old School, that one's kind of memorable. But once they got actual like vocalists doing stuff on there, it got a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Dea, although I'm pretty sure that's like an unpopular opinion.
I like it though. It's
I
a
like
nice
it.
track.
I like it.
I still don't know what what the vocal what the lyrics are talking about. I asked like 7 times and no one can figure it out. Yeah, I've waited many days, but you're here now, taking care of my, I don't know what he's trying to say here. I don't
Listening
know
to
what
it,
it's about.
when I first listened to it, or back in like 2015, it sounded like someone was talking to like their love interest's father. I don't
Could
know.
be it, but
Yeah, either that or like their ex's new boyfriend.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh.
I don't
He's
think it
a
has the
simp.
mood for that, but
yeah, like the mood is like really off if they're talking about that, but like the lyrics, like I can see it.
yeah.
Well, not. I mean, even with like the "I've waited many days, but you're here now" line, still sounds kind of weird with that in mind.
Best lyrics on the label go to Run Up.
True.
Wait, what about Boom? There's a note, I think, on the sheet that says it's like 400 and something times.
Nice.
What is it? 167, never mind. But I'm pretty sure it's more than that, but
I
somebody
found out-
counted that.
Like from the sheet, because I was working on the 2011 stuff, that for some reason Monstercat put "Destroying My World 2" by Mr. Fiji Ouija in their Instinct playlist, so it has to be labeled Instinct. I don't know
Oh, no.
what the person was taking when they were like, you know, doing the playlist, and they throw that in there. It's like, yeah, that's definitely Instinct.
There was a few that they mistakenly did. I remember when they posted the playlist. I think the second time they did it, because the first time it was a fan one, and the second time it was one of the Reddit mods that did it. It wasn't actually officially Monstercat, but there was, I think, one of the Niello's songs was in it, and those are clearly not Instinct.
No. I remember looking through the playlist and I saw Oblivion by Obsidia and in the Instinct one. I'm like,
That's
oh
like
my
the-
god.
That's like the most uncaged track on the label.
Exactly.
I'd like to think that they did it on purpose so that, you know, someone's just relaxing, enjoying some Instinct tunes. It's like, all right.
Oblivion.
It's like Russian Roulette Instinct Edition. Can't get the
True.
Obsidia track.
Are you listening to Obsidia all by yourself?
Why?
Why would you listen to Obsidia?
True. Well, what do you guys think Obsidia had a good track on the label?
The
No.
one on
No.
007 on
To the
7,
limit?
I
think I'm the only
Yeah,
one who actually
that's the only
liked
one I like.
Obsidia.
No,
I don't know. He's one of the first artists on the label that like I listened to when I first got into the label. So they just kind of
Yeah.
hold like a nostalgia factor more than anything.
That's
Bruh.
kind of me with like hyper potions.
Yeah, I feel like Hyper Potions kind of got, you know, like they always get last place in the comps, but they're really not that bad. It's just that the comps they're in are really good. So they kind of like if like Hyper Potions was in like IV5 or something, I don't think they would have been dead last.
The only
So I'm-
Hyper Potion song I really dislike is Unbreakable. I liked it when it first came out, but the vocals are just not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people
had a Hyper
dislike
Potion shirt.
Distance, but I do like Distance. Their remix of Matches though, I
I
don't
like
really
that
care for it.
It's really awful. And like I'm not a fan at all of Richard Caddick's vocals, but like Distance in particular really irks me. Like I cannot listen to that track ever.
Mm-hmm.
I like it personally.
I like
It's
it.
an
We'll make a
nice
mashup of Obsidia and Hyper Potions.
Bro, I think this was like in 2017 or something. I made like a meme mashup of Lark and Oblivion. That was good times. Obsidia actually did do an electro track called A New World, which was miles better than anything on the label. That one's like, it's not great, but when you compare it to his other stuff, it's quite good. But yeah, didn't Shadow Task have like a really wacky BPM?
It's like 146.
I remember it. Maybe this was actually wrong, but I remember someone saying they had like a ton of decimal points or something.
Yeah, I'm on the sheet. It was originally listed as 150 because someone took it from the website, which I think said 150, and I listened to it and I was like, this is 147, and I put it in. And I tried to make a mix or something, and it was like, this is not 147.
Yeah.
So what I did is I put it in Ableton, and I basically just kept messing around with the decimals until the first beat and the last beat lined up with bars, and the rest did for the most part.
Yeah.
And it was like 140 on the sheet. It's 146.87, but it was like 146.86, and then it was halfway between the 6 and 7. I don't know if it's actually that BPM or it like switches in the song slightly, because I know there's a song that switches like 155 to 154 or
Yeah,
something.
I think that's like Hold Fast or something. Where
Yeah,
they and then I know one of like the Glacier tracks goes down like 2.5 BPM for no reason. You know, sometimes it's like why?
Yeah,
why are you
it'll
gonna
go
do it?
down
There's
by
no. It doesn't
5,
help your track at all. You know.
Yeah.
But you know, if they want to do it, then I guess it's whatever. Or like, imagine like making a track where not only is it having like it's like 5 minutes or something, and then throughout the entire track, it's speeding up from 145 to 146, and that so like it's never at like a constant tempo. That
Yeah.
would be a bro moment.
Yeah.
Had like a Warzo track that was like really high BPM. It was like a fairly
Zebra
new one.
Seahorse.
Yeah, that one.
That one's kind of wacky, but it's
Yeah.
not even wacky because Vorso. It's wacky because Rivaz or whatever his name is. He's a little silly, a little goofy.
Wasn't that track with like 600 BPM or something?
I don't even remember, but it was something crazy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
My
aren't they all
favorite
for,
artist on the label.
I think I remember when they were supposed, because they had like their comeback in Rocket League, and they're supposed to release a second track, that one Syntheon and MYLK collab that just ended up being self-released. the only way that we know this is because Syntheon was hyping up that they had a release with Monstercat for like a while, and then stopped talking about it. Then Mabaroshi.
That's just such a sad way to.
That's such a
Yeah.
dick move. Oh my gosh.
Bro.
Yeah, I was really surprised to see them come back, especially for like Rocket League,
Yeah.
and then just disappear again.
It's like you guys aren't gonna believe what we have coming. It's like a year later. I didn't say anything, bro. It reminds me of like, because I think this was maybe last week or something, but we were talking about like somebody had like a side project or like a band where they kept hyping up like a release, and then they just went quiet afterwards and nothing ever happened. And this was like 2 years ago. I don't remember what it was exactly, but that.
It was it's Mountain Dreams, which was a Petit
Oh, yeah.
Biscuit side project from like 2017.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't in it, so
But like the album by Mountain Dreams is possibly the best thing that will ever release on any Spinnin' Records sub label ever. Like it's really nice, like chill wave stuff. Yeah.
Spinning isn't that good, so
Well, didn't
you have
I
some
think Julian
decent and good tracks, but
has some releases on Spinnin'?
I'm not sure.
I'll find a track from it and just post it in chat.
Because I know Silence was on Musical Freedom, but I think he had an EP with Runaway on it. Oh, that probably was Musical Freedom as well, actually.
Yeah, that
But
was
they got
on Musical
they
Freedom.
got Spinnin' uploads, but they weren't released.
Well, Musical Freedom's a Spinnin' sub label, so
With the nice S on the
Yeah.
that's upside down. You guys won't be able to
Yeah.
unsee that.
it is.
I always saw it that way.
It is. I literally am upside down right now. I'm checking.
I hope you
Why
guys
would
are
you
all
point that
turning
out?
your heads in real life,
Yeah,
just
I
turning it
did
around.
that.
Why would you point that out to me?
What the fuck?
Nice.
Mostrino, no.
Why would Spinnin' do that? It's so easy to just not do that. Bro.
Whoever pointed that out, I hate you.
I'll be seeing myself out.
Goodbye.
All right, good night, everyone.
I first
good.
noticed that like 4 years ago, but I only reminded myself of it now because I got
You
used
should
to
have
it.
kept it to yourself.
I should have kept quiet. Speaking of
Yeah.
Spinnin', did you guys hear the Timmy Trumpet and Kashmir collab?
No.
No.
Okay,
Why
don't
would I?
listen to it.
Okay.
I'm listening
Okay,
to
good.
it right now. You can't
'Cause-
stop me.
Because, Kashmir has some good tracks. Like, he has some solid ones. But Timmy Trumpet took, like, it was like that kind of, like, Arabic kind of style that Kashmir always does with, like, the vocals and whatever. And then he turns it into a Kong Kong track, except it's not even good for hardstyle. Like,
Okay, I'm gonna listen to it. You caught my attention.
bruh. Yeah, Timmy Trumpet has some decent tracks, I won't lie. But his hardstyle stuff is always really, really not good.
I haven't listened to like a lot of his songs at all. Only like one of his hard dance songs, and What's on Monstercat. And when I first heard a hard dance song, I was like, he makes hard dance. I didn't expect that at all. From
Yeah,
him.
because he used to be making a lot of bounce and a little bit of psytrance, except not real, mainstream psytrance. Ooh, but now he's mainly doing hardstyle basically. He did a little bit of big room in the past as well.
Of course.
Just all the spinning type stuff.
Yeah.
Imagine like he starts off with like Anywhere You Go style, and then like at the drop, it just goes immediately to hard style.
Bro,
Oh,
I haven't heard Bleed in an outrageously long time. Like, it's been a while since I've listened to it. And Bleed is such a joke track on the label, and it's still better than like half his discog.
Yeah.
It's one of those songs that's so bad it's good, or just so
True.
much of a meme. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Wobbled here.
Kong. I'm listening to the track right now. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
It is
really
very
isn't worth
much
your
not
time.
good at all. No. It isn't as shit as I expected it to be, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Remember when Grabbits was on Spinnin' Records once?
No, I don't remember
It's
that.
been everywhere.
Wait, he was?
Oh, he was on. It was a Boombox Cartel featuring Grabbits track.
Oh yeah.
It's
What's
kinda
it sound
wacky.
like?
It's
And
very
Grabbits was on-
basic future bass.
Grabbits was on Ultra Music as well.
Speaking of art, like because you mentioned the song where it's featuring Grabbits,
Mhm.
songs that have featuring basically an artist who sings on their own tracks but is singing on another track. I find that I know we discussed this in the first one, but I find that really awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you want to, like when
Like with
the
Grant
Conroe-
in Warning Signs, except he wasn't written as featured, but
that
that's
one
kind of what
didn't throw
happened.
me off as much because Grant's only sang on like 2 of his songs so far, I think. But like the Conroe on Terry's
yeah.
song, that when it first came out, it was like this is a Conroe track, not Terry's song. I haven't felt that way since, and New World, that one I don't really associate as a Rogue song, but for the most part, that just kind of puts me off.
Yeah, Play It Cool just
Yeah.
sounds like a Conroe song.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we can all agree on that.
hmm
I think those are the only 2 songs on the label that do that.
I'll have to check. I'll do a really quick
Yeah.
check.
And then actually thinking of it, surprisingly, I don't find it weird for artists like the ones who started as vocalists, like Laura Brem and Danica Nadeau and
hmm
those other ones, like them when they're signed as an artist. I don't find that weird, but it's also because
Well,
They
you-
kinda started
remember
that
when
way.
we had ML or Emil, as and for time?
yeah,
And that's kind of wacky.
it's wacky, but it's also not like you don't associate it with.
As like
You
an
don't
Emil
think
track.
that artist
Yeah.
made it. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's like
but
you
then
can look at
instead
New
of
World and
it's
like
like the
it's
other way around though, because instead of thinking the artist made it, you think they only did the vocals. So it's like the other way around.
which I mean, there are some songs where they only did the vocals, and then there's other songs where they did help produce a song, but they're only as featured, which is a whole discussion in and of itself.
Okay, so here's one where Nervo was featured in Crying Shame, despite the fact that Nervo is an artist as well.
True.
Yeah.
They only had one release though, whereas others,
Why is Friends labeled as Friends with Fawstix?
Oh yeah, that's so weird.
it's a collab, but I think it's just to say the title is Friends, and it's like I'm friends with this guy. I think that's what it is.
I think there was like a weird story about that, how he was like originally like not added or something because it's like Grabbits' EP or something. But I don't know though. I don't remember it too hot.
Yeah, I think that would make sense. Whereas it was an EP that was cohesive to just that artist, so he didn't want it to be Grabbits and this for an EP, and then just kind of side tangent off of that, his LP later in the year. I think it was gonna be an EP, but from what I know, it was like an artwork dispute that he didn't want, like the catalog, like the older thing on the bottom row and to the left, so they made it an LP.
Bro.
I don't
He's
know
a
if
little
that's I
picky.
can't remember, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another one. Wicked featuring Sullivan King. That's one that actually fits that
Yeah.
And In the Night also has featuring Sullivan King. But Wicked feels like a Sullivan King song. In the Night does not.
Also, New Age from the same Muzzy EP that
Yeah.
In the Night is.
There's one that there's multiple of these where it's like feat artists, but they did produce it, but I think they just don't want to be labeled as a collab.
Yeah, like Supersonic and The Phantom and Calling Out.
Yeah.
But the Calling Out's weird because it has featuring a vocalist and an artist in the
That's
same
also
spot.
the Smile tracks, To You and their
Yeah.
run-in.
Except it
Whereas
was a guitarist, I think.
No, Nick whatever his last name is did the piano.
Oh.
I know it's the Tut Tut Child track, the one on 25. Yeah, Talking
One
to
with
Masses, feat
Jim Davies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did the guitar.
Yeah, I think if they're not largely involved with songwriting, then they get a feature. Because, like, the movement
If
now,
they're
if
lucky
they
enough.
do the songwriting and, like, the lyrics largely, then they get the and. But otherwise, it's just the feature.
Yeah, which I can see why that would be the case for like, and I guess it depends on like the scene because if you're looking at like pop stuff, like the producer who is getting all the attention on like Monstercat, they're not even in the title, you know. Whereas here it's like the other way around.
Yeah.
Right. It's just how like EDM is marketed. It's more focused on the producer rather than like the
Yeah.
vocalist per se. It's a different
Yeah.
environment.
Whereas like this is kind of a slightly extreme example, but like I don't know, classical music usually it's the composer and then there's there's a whole orchestra who
Yeah, but yeah,
plays it, but who cares about them?
yeah, which
Yeah.
is it's kind of just like what's the focus of each of like the genres. Another one that doesn't, I mean, they've only released once before, but Timmy Trumpet was featured on Anywhere You Go instead of being an and.
I think like mainstream music, I think instead of EDM being the exception, I think mainstream is the exception where they just signify the vocalists and don't really care about the producers because like
Typically.
my mom has asked me, "Oh, who sings this song?" I'm like, "It's this person." Like just for example, say it's Rebirth. I'm like, "It's Rebirth, but the vocalist is Ashley Polidor, but it's also produced by Resonate." So
Yeah. Yeah, my mom asks the same thing.
When you're listening
like-
to Start Again and your mom asks who sings this song,
There you go.
It's like
Try explaining
Richard
boom.
something or other.
bro, it's
Why
like
would
the
you play-
wobbledy wop pre-drop sample, and mom's like, "Yo,
Who is
who's this?" Yeah,
Why would
who
you
is
play
this?
Wasn't
Wobble
that
from
wasn't
an
that taken from a T.I. song? The original sample?
I have no clue.
I'm pretty sure it was. I'm
It's
gonna
like-
try to find it.
Who's the person in the song who says, "What were y'all thinking"? I don't know.
Oh, it's easy. It's half track.
Yeah.
I think it was Martin however you say it, Horger.
No, it's me.
Martin Berger.
Oh, Martin Berger. Yes.
what is
Mark
it?
Manberg.
For You is featuring, is it Eminence and then two other artists? I can't remember who. It might be on a note. But the Aerochord song.
Oh yeah.
Discord, Eminence, and Claypex.
Yes.
Which I think Claypex, his song was after his collab with, I think, Rezael. Yeah, that was 025. And
Isn't
then
like
Discord
one up
had
part of
three.
Claypex?
I don't know.
I was just looking at like uncredited stuff, and I remember I think it was like it was like a really ancient Red Hawk video where it was like uncredited appearances in Monstercat songs, and I think like 4 or 5 of them were like, "Oh, this was mastered by Stonebank," and Protostar.
Actually, it was only one. It was only Protostar's song that said "mastered by Stonebank,"
Oh.
which was why he got so mad about it.
Oh yeah, that's why he's got And Protostar went in the comments and said, "Stonebank masters like almost all of the tracks, you dummy."
Yeah. I think he does like
You
half of them
dunce.
now because a lot of people do it on their own, or like
Yeah.
have someone else do it.
Yo, someone should tell Stonebank to master Sabai's tracks. Haha.
He probably
Remaster.
does.
Tell Stonebank to remake them.
I would kind of like
True.
to hear.
With
I
Emil.
would kind of like to hear a like a remix of. I don't know. I just
we
not
don't
that it's
need
something
more
I want to hear all the
Stonebank
time.
feature
But
Guys, can we hear a remix of Sabai's remix of Feels Like?
That just feels like.
Sabai, yes, Stonebank VIP of Sabai's remix of Vice Tones Feels Like.
Well, I mean, there was a what was it? A remix contest for Million Days, so we could get a happy hardcore Million Days.
Oh, yeah.
remix.
although that's probably going to be like not necessarily like way back, but kind of like way back where it doesn't have a release.
Wait, there was a remix contest for Million Days?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Asia exclusive, like the Elements remix.
Oh, bruh. Oh, yeah, because, someone said something about, like, how that one was kind of wacky. But
Yeah,
unless
how,
this is, unless this is like the Elements remix where, I don't even remember what that first winner was. But unless this is like that, this could actually be a remix competition where the winning remix has better production than the original. How wacky would that be?
Weird.
Damn.
Very weird.
Watch Yakko win the remix comp.
I don't think they allow. Or never mind. I was gonna because there's 7 Minutes Dead did a remix for the way back contest.
Oh, yeah. And then I think Dumu did a remix for Anywhere You Go, which was,
That was-
I think they considered releasing it, but then they were like, nah.
It was
Yeah, that
It's on his
What was it?
SoundCloud, I think.
it was like I think it was like the People's Choice for the contest, and then that caught Monstercat's attention.
Broken Glass Streaks remake.
Aw, yeah.
Duma also did a remix of Another Night by Mern, but that
Yeah.
that was officially
yeah.
released.
And then
I think
you
that was
guys remember
planned,
what
schedule
was the
full.
track? There was one track. Oh yeah, way back. Like we mentioned, how way back had the remix that was released onto SoundCloud, but then it kind of got scuffed for an actual release. Same thing with the Unlike Pluto, Everything Black. How the box
yeah.
had an actual
Box.
like that was an actual pretty good remix, but Unlike Pluto's like, nah, haha, I'm gonna be doing some of that emo shit now.
Yeah.
That
I
song,
forgot about
like
the Wobble
listened-
remixes.
the what?
Oh,
yeah,
the Wobble remixes. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
those
true.
were pretty okay enough.
Yeah, but it was kind of
Tofu
sad to
remix?
just see them getting scuffed at like the last minute because I think it was like Crankdat's management or one of them was like, yeah, we're not.
The management.
He was like, they have to release in this specific order. Like my releases have to be like official releases have to be in this order, and I can't change that, which is so dumb. It doesn't make any sense.
Everyone
Like, I'm
thought
sure there's a
Crankdat
lot
was
of
going to release an
management
EP.
stuff,
Then he just stopped.
And then he put it on Disciple and it was garbage. Ooh.
Yeah.
We talked about this the first episode.
Remember
Oh,
when
yeah.
Orbiter was not going to be a one-off project, and
Yeah.
True.
I remember specifically when after the EP was posted on like one of the discussions on the subreddit, I was like, "This is probably going to be a one-off," and they commented like, "Nope, we already have tons of plans." And yeah, it died.
To be fair, there was kind of some wacky stuff going on with 7 Minutes Dead, so I can't really blame him too much. Not to mention, Stephen himself hasn't been too active on the label either. But yeah.
Or in general.
Yeah.
Orbiter album next week.
Hell yeah. That's
Watch
the
him just,
Thursday
like-
release.
Uncaged.
Cloud9 Uncaged the week after.
Aw, yeah. Can't wait
Well,
for
none
some
rid of
Cloud
Full
None
Uncaged
Rid of.
EP.
There, I'm still like kind of interested if there's gonna be like, ever some Cloud9 Uncaged, cause that would be interesting to say the least.
I know he's
inching
mentioned
closer and closer.
he's mentioned like he's commented on it. He's like, I'll consider like he wants to do it, but I think it's just not something that
Has
Interest-
the actual like
Yeah.
guy behind Cloud9, has he done any Uncaged stuff? I haven't listened to his music. Have you guys
His
heard
stuff,
it?
No.
I think a lot, from what I remember, a lot of his stuff is like uncaged, or not
Okay.
uncaged, like borderline.
It would be nice to see an artist like Muzz, who has been around since 2011 and hasn't made a single Instinct track, unless I'm forgetting any,
Feeling
to actually
Stronger?
do. Feeling, I mean, I guess Feeling Stronger is probably the
original
most
is.
different thing that he's done. But
and then excluding interludes or intros.
yeah, but something that's like not only Instinct but actual, like, I don't want to say like an actual release because Feeling Stronger is like an actual release, but that's just kind of one that got like hid because it didn't get an upload,
Yeah. But like basically something like where Stonebank made Back to Start and the Danica Nadeau
Haha,
one,
let
where
you
like
down.
those are exceptions to what he normally does.
Yeah. Although I'd say Stonebank is an artist with a lot more variety than most on the label.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Bro, imagine if we got another Throttle EP. That could be kind of insane.
I'd like that.
It won't happen.
That's
Feature
probably
No.
Stonebank.
Well, last time Jay said, I don't think we'll be seeing Throttle for a while again. And then the very next week, it gets announced that Throttle's back. So imagine if a Throttle EP gets announced like in a week or two. That would be kind of a bro moment.
All right, who's an artist that we don't think is going to return and is going to have a return? Slander.
Slander, true. Slander's been kind of gone.
What do you guys
will
think?
never
I don't know
come
if you
back.
discussed. What do you guys think of Slander? Because I know that Slander's like hit and miss, mostly miss.
Most of their
It's all
hits are,
missed.
like,
Yeah,
They're
Slander has
fine as
some
long as
alright
someone
tracks.
carries them.
Nice. Yeah, Slender has some all right tracks, but they also have some very not all right tracks.
And they're usually missed for me, but they have slow motion, so
Yeah.
that saves the entire discography. Slow motion is so good.
A lot of their dubstep
mean-
songs, it's like niche for me, where it's like there's times where I just love them and like just want to listen to songs like that, and then other times I'm like, no,
Speaking of artists we don't think are gonna come back, because I know that these guys got like when we say active, I mean like they appeared on like their Instagram or something like a year or two ago. But case in point, they dropped some bangers but they've been kind of silent for a few years now.
Didn't they split up or something?
I have no clue. I haven't heard of anything about them recently.
Yeah, I thought they split up.
Are they both? Are either of them still making music, or did they just?
I'm
quit
not sure. I think not.
Yeah, they probably just like dipped out of the industry.
Yeah.
They're baristas,
Yeah.
There's also
working
there's
9 to
been,
5 office job.
Yeah, there's been like hinting that Astronaut might come back this year.
Yeah, Astronaut has such a solid discography. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Except like it's
Yeah.
80% remixes.
Yeah.
well, I'm talking about their originals. Well,
Oh, well.
I mean, they do have. They did the remix of Collide, but I think that's their only
Yeah.
remix, isn't it?
They had a remix of their own track.
Oh yeah,
I think it,
that's the
Yeah,
worst one in my
Pinball.
opinion. The remix of Pinball, I think that's their worst one.
Yeah.
But all of their electro
then-
stuff has been A tier.
and I think
Quantum
Apollo
is
Electro
really-
remix is a remix or VIP rather.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like an alternate mix, like how TVDS did with Another Day,
Yeah.
except that they only released the electro version, and then the
Yeah.
other one, which is like that, but it's like Calm House or whatever. I think they released on their own or on Disciple or something.
I think what is it? Their last track, Farina, that's the only song on the label that doesn't have a remix E EP.
Yeah, Feronia
Yeah.
is the only song on the label that doesn't have a remix E EP.
I think there's one other song. It's in one of the EPs, but like there's an EP, like there's Quantum EP, and then there's the remixes for Quantum, and I think Rain was on that
Yeah,
EP.
Yeah,
So
like
they
the
also have
Rain
Rain
Midas
EP.
remix or something was on that EP, and then it was on like Destination Rain. Or
Yeah, it's
whatever.
like the Unlovable remix slash. It's technically a VIP, because Abstract and whatever her name is,
Oh, Abstract was
Her-
part of Unlovable?
Abstract and Pauline Her are Unlovable as far as
Yeah.
I know.
I did not.
So it's technically a VIP.
Dang, I did not know
Yeah.
that. Have they released any music aside from that remix?
They have like 2 songs before that. It's a very similar like just sound style. I
That's
don't know if they've
interesting.
released since that, but it was kind of weird that I mean I guess it makes sense for them to do a remix, but it's kind of like that weird thing where they both did the original song, they put it
Uh-huh.
under one, and Pauline's not credited.
Uh-huh.
And then they have a remix which is under that alias. I don't know. I think
Yeah.
there's another instance of that on the label, but
I'll have to listen to that. Cuz yeah, I know Pauline's been doing like some like solo stuff with like some production. So, I'll have to check out Unlovable's other stuff.
We can't gloss over the fact that we just talked about Astronaut remixes EP without talking about Champions World remix, the best remix on the label.
According
last
to a
part.
certain man, Coneboy loves
It
the
is a
World
very
remix.
really good remix though.
But I won't lie. The Laszlo remix. I
That's
think that's where it's at.
It is
That's
where it's
probably
at.
my favorite remix of an Astronaut song on the label.
is it Cone? He's like Champions. The World remix is the best song on the label, but the original is the worst song.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Like I get that a song can be better, but that's really it seems pushing it.
Yeah. Shock value opinion.
Haha, shock value stuck in your head number 1. Haha, haha.
It got stuck in the head.
It got
Yeah.
stuck in his
Yeah.
head.
It kind of reminds me of somebody here who put "Don't Forget Me" very high.
Ooh, throwing shade. Dang.
Yeah.
No
I
hate.
think
though.
I think I put like Busted Out top 10, which is another like really shock value opinion.
I really want to send that cursed busted out cover art, but I'll refrain this time.
How bad is it?
It's
It's not safe for work.
Oh, it didn't work.
That's not even that bad.
I mean, if your mom was in the room, would you like to have that on your screen?
I think she'd be okay with it.
yeah.
Bro.
I mean, I live in my
I
own
don't know-
apartment,
I don't
so
know
have to
what
worry
kind
about
of- Nice.
Well, lucky you.
that. Nah, not really lucky. Rent's
No.
a bitch.
Oh,
That's true.
Ouch.
Yeah, it is. I'm paying rent for a place I'm not even living at until August. So
Moment.
Epic.
All right, do you guys want to wrap this up? We still have not
No.
found a good way to finish this.
Right.
Let's fight it to the death.
Yes.
Can we just comment how bland the new brakes color looks?
Bruh.
So
You
bland.
changed it.
Must you know?
Did you not see General Polls, my guy?
No, I saw
I
it. It's
pro-
just
I'm
bland.
talking to Carter.
I probably forgot, honestly.
No,
Here,
you
let me look.
voted yes for the color, bro.
One.
Hold on, I got this.
Okay, all right, Jaycee, take it away, or Jace. My apologies. That's it. Bye.